Hey there, beer tubers, and welcome back to Maxwell Starr's Beer Reviews. And tonight, we're actually going to celebrate Canada Day in style, and I just propped up a Canadian flag in the back, and we're going to take a look at a Canada Day beer, or sort of. I'm actually decided not to make it a big deal this year, and kept it a little bit more low key than I've done in the previous years, like decorate the entire house with Canada flags, and I mean everything's still really packed away. And I couldn't get a chance to review this one with the guys, but every year, Innis Gunn comes out with a new beer to celebrate Canada Day. And in 2011, I looked at Canada Day 2011. In 2012, I looked at Canada Day 2012. In 2013, I looked at Canada. It was a Canadian Cherrywood, which every year previous, the bottle came in a decorative Canadian inspired box or something. You know, because Innis Gunn loves Canada. I think it's like the #1 imported beer in Canada. At least it was a couple years ago. That's probably changed. I'm not sure. Anyway, this year they released another version of the Canadian Cherrywood finish, and I think this is matured, not matured as long. I could look up my review of it, but worry about that another time. One thing I do know is that this beer comes in at 7.4% ABV, and it's actually weaker than last year's. I think last year was like 8.2 or 8.3% ABV, so it's not quite as strong as last year's, but so this year I'm not making a big deal of it because, well, Innis Gunn didn't make a big deal of it, and all my decorations are packed away anyway, so anyway, so looking at the bottle here, Innis Gunn Cherrywood, Canadian Cherrywood finish. This limited bottling of Innis Gunn has been matured over Canadian Black Cherrywood, blah blah blah, and has finished with the addition of maple syrup. Ooh. To our knowledge, this is the first time that Cherrywood has been used to mature a beer. No, it's not. You did it last year. The result is a real full-bodied Scotch ale with the rich taste of the lasting finish, which is fair. I mean, there's a big amount of Scotch living in Canada. No, seriously, there is. It's actually like one of my good friends is Scottish and goes to all the Highland Games and all that. So, anyway, so yeah, let's crack this one open and take a look. Now, I know I reviewed last year's, and just because this one's slightly different, I've decided I'm gonna review them both. And besides, it gives me something to review for Canada Day, so there you go. I'm literally recording this at the last possible moment, so I'll get this uploaded on Tuesday. Got a lot of head on this one, actually. Now look at that. Like, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous, but I can't get the entire thing in my Innis Gunn glass. Let's top that up here. Oh, there we go. Screw it. Right, quick picture for, yes, for Untapped. I'm sorry. Sucker for Untapped. And Maxwell Starr on there as well, so look me up if you want to add me. So looking at that, I gotta say, most Innis Gunn beers, especially ones with that kind of high ABV, don't have the head retention like that one does. This one has oodles of carbonation and a head that's gorgeous, and it's turning into a big cream puff on the top of the beer. And usually, like when I have an Innis Gunn, it's gone like almost immediately, which is not bad. A bad thing in my opinion. I mean, I like having head for aesthetic purposes, but when it comes to an Innis Gunn, I'm used to not getting much head because I mean, the rest of the beer A makes up for it, and B, I know for the high ABV beer, head retention is not an easy thing. This one seems to nail it. I gotta admit that as far as appearances go, it's pretty spot on, and it is very patriotic colored, where it's got this nice orange-red appearance. Nice hearty ruby color in the middle almost. Of course, you could see that through the bottle, but boy, that looks nice. Let's give it a sniff. Oh, yeah. If I could not put my nose in it. Stupid. Maybe I don't like that head. Nah, it's fine. Just gotta stop sticking my nose right in the beer. I almost get like a slow alcoholic astringency off of that, but everything else I get is stuff from, oh, the aged Canadian Cherrywood. I don't think it's just Cherrywood, but you do get like the red cherries. I am getting that maple syrup as well. It's almost like a sugary maple. Other than that, it actually smells pretty spot. You can tell it's got some kind of English hop in there, where you get this subtle metallic, subtle, like copper coiny kind of smell, and like smelling a penny, and lightly, not intensely. Don't stick it up your nose or nothing, like stick my beer. You get the hints of oak, you hints of vanilla. I get the feeling off of this one it's not just cherrywood. I get the feeling there must have been bourbon barrels involved at some stage in this as well. I could be wrong. But otherwise, when I think Scotch ale, this actually nails that too. Where you get that nice molasses, that dark smell. And you know what? It smells tasty. So let's put her down the hatch. Cheers. Ooh, it's rich too. You get that butter toffee and that vanilla on the tip of your tongue as it starts to go back, and you get the bready cereal graininess. Now, it's not like cereal grain, it's more like toasted bread. Or toasted brown bread, maybe. With a rich amount of sweet. It's not cloying sweet. In fact, it's not absolutely like sticky sweet. It's just gives you that feeling of tasting sweet, but it's not bad because it dries out in the back. And it fades into this lingering, light, earthy hop. And it's that standard British hop character that lingers in the back and on the back of the tongue as it dissipates. And almost like a dusty, yeasty kind of quality as well. Maybe a touch warming in the throat, but nothing to be offended by, and it's not bad at all. I mean, So yeah, it comes across as being this nice little, like Scotch beer. It's got that rich, earthy, that sweetness, that malt that's back in the backbone. It hits all the marks, and it's a bloody beautiful beer. It's a bloody tasty beer. In fact, the only thing really negative I can say about this beer is something I've said negative about Innis Gunn's beers recently anyway, is that it follows the same formula as everything else. It's like almost too similar to the original. It's got that beautiful barrel taste. And I think this one here, they described it as an oakinator system, where they kind of like percolate it with the wood chips in it to speed up the maturation process. I don't know. They explained it to me at the Bonorano Beer Tube Palooza Fest, and it made sense. Anyway, so what do I think? The biggest thing I can say negative is that it comes across as being too much like the formula of the Railer beers. Although it is a Scotch ale instead of a more like a pale ale or bitter. And then the barrel quality is beautiful. But I mean, I do get like almost like the bourbon qualities as well. But I'll be darned if that ain't a tasty beer. And I would happily buy more of that. And it's well worth celebrating Canada Day with a couple of bottles of this in your hand, watching fireworks. It's a great beer. So I can't really fault them too much for that. So I think overall, 4.25 out of 5. I'm going to say Innis Gunn has always created a solid product. Well, almost always created a solid product, despite whether or not they rely on the same formula all the time or not, because it works. Just simply works. Anyway, thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review of Innis Gunn's Canadian Cherrywood finish. Happy Canada Day, and we'll talk to you folks later. Cheers.